Hi friends, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new. I'm Ashton, the face behind Ashten Stitches, and today I've got another bandana tutorial for you. This one is for all of my friends out there that just want a simple edge for their bandana. This is just made with single crochets along the edge all the way around, so it just creates a nice clean border for your bandana. Just like my other bandana tutorials, I have both a thick strapped version as well as a much thinner strap. One is no-sew, one is low-sew, though I will mention that this is the version that I did for the no-sew version, but obviously I did have to sew in because I changed colors, but it is very easy to switch it up, keep the same color if you want. But this is a great pattern for you if you are wanting to use up some scrap yarn, but still have a really nice outcome. So let's go ahead and get started. For your materials, you will need your yarn. This is the I Love This Cotton. Both of these are, so I'm going to do two colors. You don't have to do two colors, but I'm going to. So I've got my main color for the base of my bandana and then an ivory color for the border. You will also need a 5mm hook, a yarn needle, and a pair of scissors. And let's go ahead and get started. So to start your bandana base, we are going to take our main color and we're going to make a magic ring. To make a magic ring, you are going to place your loose end in between your middle finger and your ring finger, wrap it around, create an X towards you, and then turn your hand and you will have parallel lines on the other side. Go ahead and take your hook, go underneath the first line, grab the second line, and pull that second line through. Go ahead and turn your hand. Then you're going to grab that loop that's on your hook and then also grab the other strand of the magic ring and then go ahead and remove your fingers. And now you have your magic ring. Once you've done that, go ahead and chain 3. And this counts as your first double crochet. Now go ahead and place 3 double crochets into your magic ring. So a double crochet is yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2, 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2. And go ahead and place 3 of those double crochets into your magic ring. Then go ahead and chain 2, and then place 4 double crochets into the magic ring. So now you should have your chain 3 plus 3 double crochets. Your chain 3 counts as the first double crochet, so that would be 4 double crochets, chain 2, and then 4 more double crochets all into the magic ring. Now go ahead and take your loose end of your magic ring and tighten that almost all the way. So you still want to have a little bit of an opening, but that is round 1. To start row 2, we're going to chain 3 and then turn our work. So now we are going to be placing 3 double crochets into a space instead of a stitch. So you can see right here where my chain 3 is coming from, there is a little hole and that is the stitch. But if you pull apart right underneath that, there is also a larger hole. We're going to be going into that larger hole instead. So go ahead and place 3 double crochets, not into the stitch, but into the space between the last 2 double crochets. And since your chain 3 counts as a double crochet, you now have 4 double crochets. We're going to go ahead and skip over into that chain 2 space at the top, and we are going to place 3 double crochet. Then we will chain 2, and then place 3 double crochet all into that chain 2 space. So in the chain 2 space, you should have 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. And now we want this end piece here to match our beginning. So try and find that chain 3 at the very end here. Then you're going to pull that apart and you should see a space. We are going to be placing our stitches into that space. So go ahead and place 3 double crochet into that space at the end. Now, like I said, we need to copy what we did in the beginning, and at the beginning we have 4 double crochet. So we are going to place our final 4th double crochet into that chain 3 at the very end. Sometimes it's hard to get to that very top third chain. So go ahead and place your double crochet either into that top third chain or the second chain, whichever one is a little bit easiest. But you can see I'm going into the stitch, which might be a little bit tight. There we go. So you can see I am inside the stitch, not the space that we just worked into, and I will place my final fourth double crochet. And that is round 2. To start round 3, we are going to do the same thing and chain 3 and turn our work, and that chain 3 counts as our first double crochet. Just like before, we are going to find that space, so not the stitch but the space underneath the stitch, and we are going to place 3 double crochet into that space. Now we're going to skip this 3 double crochet cluster and find the next space here, and into that space we will place 3 double crochet. Then we're going to skip over into that chain 2 space at the top, and we are going to place 3 double crochet, chain 2, and then 3 more double crochet all into that chain 2 space. So into that chain 2 space you should have 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. We're going to skip this cluster and find the space, and we're going to place 3 double crochet into that space. And then just like we did at the beginning, we're going to need to place 4 double crochet here. So I'm going to find that chain 3 at the very end, pull it apart to find the space in between, and then place 3 double crochet into that space. And then we need to place a 4th double crochet, so go ahead and place that into either the second or the third chain of that final chain 3 here. So place a double crochet into the stitch and not that space, so you can see that I am in the stitch, not the space. And place your final 4th double crochet. And that is row 3. So you're going to be continuing that same pattern over and over until you have done 10 rows in total. A good way to check to see how many rows you've done is find your little magic ring space. And if you look at just half of this, each of these clusters at the end equals 1 row. So you can say I've done 1, 2, 3 rows, and we want to have a total of 10. I'll go ahead and do one more row with you. So we're going to chain 3, which counts as a double crochet, turn our work, find the space at the very beginning, and place 3 double crochet into that space. We're going to skip over this cluster and find the space and place 3 double crochet into that space. We're going to skip the next cluster and find the next space and place 3 double crochet into that space. Then we're going to skip over to the chain 2 space at the top, and into that space we are going to place 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet, all into that chain 2 space. We're going to skip this next cluster and find the space and place 3 double crochet into that space. We'll skip the next cluster, find that space, and place 3 double crochet into that space. Then we're going to find the chain 3 at the end here and pull that apart to find the space in between. And we're going to place 3 double crochet into that space. And then finally find the second or the third chain of this chain 3 at the end and place your final 4th double crochet into that chain. So you're just going to repeat that over and over until you have done 10 rows in total. And like I mentioned, you can count the clusters here at the front, just half of it. So you see I have 1, 2, 3, 4, which means I have 4 rows. So go ahead and keep repeating that pattern until you have a total of 10 rows. I will have the written repeat right here. So go ahead and pause the video and go ahead and do your 10 rows, and I will meet you back once you've done that. Once you have done your 10 rows, your bandana base should look just like this. Now, like I mentioned before, I like to do 2 different versions of straps and edging. There is a no-sew version, which is where we will continue from this point and create thicker straps and an edge. And then there is the low-sew version, which creates a much thinner strap using only chains. For this first one, I'm going to show you how to do the no-sew version, although mine is going to be a little bit extra sewing because I'm going to change colors, but you do not need to change colors at all at this point. So for me, I'm going to be fastening off with a chain 1 and then just cutting my yarn here. But again, if you are not planning to change any colors, do not fasten off. Go ahead and just continue on with our next part. So I will go ahead and show you how to do the thicker strap version now. Like I mentioned, I'm changing colors just so I can have something a little bit different, but if you are not changing colors, do not fasten off. Don't worry about the change in color that I have here. It's going to be working the same. If you did want to change colors for your border like I just did right here, you would go ahead and fasten off and then attach your new color to that last stitch that you worked on the side that you fastened off on. But the steps for both versions are going to be the same, so if you have not changed colors, nothing has changed for you. So to do our plain edge here, we are going to chain 1, and then we are going to be turning to work along the top of our bandana. So what we will be working into are these little bars along the top. So you can see that's where our chain 3s are, or it'll be our very last double crochets at the end here. We'll be working into those. So we're going to be working into this first bar here. If you pull this one apart, you'll see that there's a vertical bar. I'm going to pretend that doesn't exist, and I'm just going to work into this as if it is just an empty space with this bar. So you should have chained 1, and then we are going to place 2 single crochets into each of these bar spaces. So I'm going to go ahead and place my single crochet. Here's number 1. And then I'm going to place another single crochet into that same space. And then I'm going to move over to this next bar right here. And again, I'm going to place 2 single crochets into that space. And we're just going to continue placing 2 single crochets into each of these bar spaces all the way down until we reach our magic ring space right here. Because we're going to do something a little bit different, but go ahead and place 2 single crochets into each of the bar spaces until you reach the magic ring, and I will meet you back once you've done that. So now I've just gone across on one side here. I've just gotten to this middle bit where my magic ring is. And first of all, I'm going to take that loose end of my magic ring and I'm going to place it just over it. That way I can crochet over it. And into that magic ring space, I'm going to place 1 single crochet. Once I've done that, I'm going to grab that loose end of my magic ring and I'm going to go ahead and just pull it tight. That way I can close up the magic ring. And then you're just going to continue placing 2 single crochets into each of the bar spaces on the top until you get to the end, and then I will show you what we will do once we get there. So now I've just finished placing all of my single crochets along the top, and we are at our first strap. So go ahead and chain 46, and then I will show you what to do after you've done that. So now that you have chained 46, I'm going to be working into the back bumps of my chains, but you don't have to. But we are going to, into the second chain from the hook, we're going to place a single crochet. And then you are going to continue placing 1 single crochet into each chain all the way down until you reach your bandana base. And I will meet you back once you've done that. Once you have made your way down your tie here, go ahead and place a single crochet into the base of the bandana. Now, since we are doing a plain edge, we're just going to be doing single crochets. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place a single crochet into each stitch all the way down until I get to the chain 2 space. So wherever there is a double crochet, I will place a single crochet into the top of it. So go ahead and place a single crochet into each stitch all the way down until you reach the chain 2 space, and I will meet you back once you've done that. I've just made my way all the way down. I'm now at my chain 2 space, and all I'm going to do is place 2 single crochets into the chain 2 space. Then I will turn to work along the other side. And we're going to continue placing single crochets into each stitch all the way until you reach that next top corner, all the way up here, and I will meet you back once you've done that so that we can do the final strap. So I've made my way back to the other side over here, and now we are going to do the second strap. We're going to do the same thing that we did for the first strap, so go ahead and chain 46, and then place a single crochet into the second chain from the hook, and then continue placing 1 single crochet into each chain until you reach the hair scarf again. So I will meet you back once you have done that strap to show you what to do to finish off. I've just made my way down, and I wanted to mention that I almost forgot a stitch right here. So make sure that you place your final stitch on this side into that space, and then you'll do your strap. But I've made my way down my strap here, and now what I'm going to do is connect to this first single crochet here, and I will connect it with a slip stitch. Once you've done that, you can go ahead and fasten off. Go ahead and weave in your ends, and you are done. So that is the no-sew version. I will go ahead and show you how to do the low-sew version that also has skinnier ties. So what you're going to do is follow the same steps that you did to make the base of the bandana. So go ahead and do those rounds until you have 10 rounds altogether, and then I will meet you back once you have done all of that. So now I have done the base of my bandana, and I'm going to work on the edging here. I'm just going to use the same color for this one, but you can change colors. This is a great version to do with different colors. So if you are changing colors like me, you're going to find that corner space where you have fastened off and go ahead and attach your color right there. Once you've attached your color, if you have changed colors, go ahead and chain one and then turn your work. So now we are going to be placing a single crochet into each stitch all the way down until you reach the chain two corner at the bottom. So I'm just going into every one of these stitches at the top, all the way down, placing a single crochet until I get to the chain two space here at the bottom. So go ahead and do that, and I will meet you back once you have gotten to the chain two space. So now I've made my way all the way down. I'm at my chain two corner space, and I'm just going to go ahead and place 2 single crochets into that corner space. Then I will turn to work along the next side. And we're just going to continue placing single crochets into each stitch all the way until the end. And I will meet you back once you've made your way back to the top here. I've just made my way back to the top, and I'm going to place 1 more single crochet into this space right here. And at this point, I'm going to chain 1 and then fasten off. So now we've done our plain edge border, and we are going to be doing the straps. So what we're going to do, since we're making skinny straps, we're going to make a chain that comes down, and then we are going to attach here, work across the top, and then we are going to do our other strap here. So go ahead and make a slip knot, attach it to your hook, and then you're going to go ahead and chain 45. Once you've made your chain of 45, go ahead and grab your bandana. And we're going to find the place that we just fastened off at. We're going to go ahead and attach with a single crochet into that very last single crochet that we made. And now we are going to be working across the top of our bandana. So you will see on the top here, there are these little bars wherever you have your rows. These are your chain 3s or the final double crochets of every single row, and we're going to be working into the spaces of those. So into each space, go ahead and place 2 single crochets, and we're just going to keep doing that until we reach the middle, which is where our magic ring is. So over here, we are going to place 2 single crochets into each of these bar spaces until you reach the middle where your magic ring is, and then I will meet you back once you've done that. So now I've just reached my middle space here, which is where my magic ring is. I'm going to take the loose end of the magic ring and place it over here because I'm going to crochet right over that. We are going to place 1 single crochet into that magic ring space. And then I will go ahead and grab that loose end, and I'm just going to tighten it up and close up that magic ring. Once you've done that, go ahead and continue placing 2 single crochets into each of those bar spaces along the top until you reach your next corner here, and I will show you what to do then. Once you've gotten to the end here, we're going to do the same thing that we did on the other side. Go ahead and chain 45 chains and then fasten off. And once you've done that, I will go ahead and show you how I like to finish off my straps. So I've just finished off my straps, and what I like to do is I'll pull that last stitch really tight. Then I'll take this extra bit of yarn here and I will just make a knot. And I tend to do like a double or a triple knot just to really make sure that it's secure. But you'll just do this to the ends of your ties and then go ahead and weave in your ends and you are done. And there you go. Now you have made your very own bandana with a nice, simple, plain single crochet edge. This is really nice, especially if you just want to use up an extra skein of yarn or you have some scraps laying around. This is a really good way to do that. And now you are able to see the difference between the thick strap here and then the much thinner strap. So both versions are available to you. I hope that you guys enjoyed this one. Let me know which one is your favorite down below. If you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and do that. And if you would like to be notified whenever I have a new video come out or a new tutorial, go ahead and hit that bell icon to be notified whenever a new video comes out. If you liked this video, like it. If you disliked it, dislike it. And if you want to see more of the things that I create and when I have tester calls or anything like that, go ahead and follow me on Instagram. Everything will be linked down below in the description. But I hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial today, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye, everyone.